Now, welcome to our live FB Trade VSA. So tonight, we'll be looking at the Trade VSA Top 2020 Trade Ideas, which we've been talking about it since even before the Chinese New Year. Of course, and those of you who are celebrating Chinese New Year, we are still in the middle of the Chinese New Year. 恭喜发财, hope you get rich, okay? And it's more important that we think year 2021 is a year of ox, right? Year of ox is a year of bull. That's right. The bull will be rushing up, and guess what? It's a metal bull, which is also synonymous with golden bull. So can we see a bull run or not this year, 2021? What do you think? Do you think we can see a bull run? Just type in there, bull run year of metal, or maybe not. Just type it in there so I would know. Okay. So this always been a real challenge. Whether we'll see a bull run or not a bull run going forward. But I will give you some facts going forward. As the market evolve by itself, the political news that we've seen, and also the headline that hit our market in here. All right. So what are the large cap stock? Now, if you see this, I think I flashed it many times before. For the top 2020, the number one was Supermax, 430%, Top Glove and Penta. Of course, right now you'll be saying, my God, this was just last year. This year, right now, all the glove maker, all kalang kabut, all hapus. Topmax, Hatta Lega also break down 4%, 5%, and even Top Glove below $5. Some people are saying, hey, why Tan Sri Vichai don't buy some more share buyback for Top Glove, isn't it, right? So lesson learned. First lesson learned, I'm going to teach you. Not all winners that was from last year will be winner for this year. I think many of you would have found the hard way, I hope. Though it didn't find the hard way, if you have taken your profit, well done in that. So those are some of the lessons. I will talk about it tonight in here. Okay, and so of course those of you who have not been, especially those of you just type one there, do join our Telegram chat room. This is a Telegram chat room that we have, and this is all the information, all the free information that we have, and also trade ideas and education material that will bring you up to speed with this in here. All right. And of course, you can also subscribe to our YouTube channel in here. Subscribe where we will cover a lot of the interesting topics from time to time. And also, we want to look at some of the trade idea that we have done, which is this one in here, and study them. I know some topic we talk on YouTube, we have uploaded. If you don't have time, if you miss it, you can always go up to YouTube and watch that. We have different topics. Of course, the most common one that people like are all the rubber glove, isn't it? So do take note of that one. But of course, President Biden, which we did talk about, the green policies was just 2 weeks ago, continue to be low. Right, here's a hint. You want to be buying things that is not popular. That's right. Okay, and also don't forget, those of you who have our the smart Robie. Now, if you don't do share this with your friends, so you get extra 200 points. Smart Robie has been part and parcel of our services and product to the public. And those of you who are watching tonight in here, thank you very much. And we are able to give you a lot of the trade ideas using our smart apps in here. And don't forget to share that in here. And of course, not forgetting my breakfast show that I do every morning, trading ideas and stock ideas at 10:15. That's the one that we break it out into 3 parts: Monday for beginner, Wednesday for intermediate, and Friday for advanced levels in here. All right, let's get down to the mean ending deal that we are seeing in all these things that we are seeing. All right, so what has happened this? Now this just came in the evening. I was preparing this presentation. I was kind of surprised that the Ministry of Science and Technology are getting prepared for GE15. That's right, GE15. So the headline has been said out is that, look, they are ready to do the general election in here. Now, how many of you are ready for general election 15? Earlier on in some of my presentation, I've talked about earlier that the earliest likelihood will be next year, March 2022, because if they start talking about it, because usually we have never had any general election, even 14, 13 and 12, most of them was either in May or March. So again, you have to see, we have Hari Raya Puasa in April in here. So September, I'm not sure, because one thing for sure, the politicians are getting busy to prep their machinery and getting ready in here. So meanwhile, also we have our Prime Minister getting the first vaccine jab, isn't it? That's right. I think some of you have seen this before, a vaccine jab, but the number of cases continue to blow new high. That's right. And we have 3,005. This is also contributed by a big case that was in Seremban from the industrial area. And I think most of you would know this round, many of the new cluster cases are actually related to work. However, I did hear a little news saying that we did have a Chinese New Year reunion cluster in Sandakan. That's right. Yep. Now, I think many of you would also agree, the sooner we get over with the general election, it's better in here. But having said that, now we have seen the flow of the vaccine coming in. So we are likely to see more and more economic sector opening up and less restriction for now inside in here. But having said that, also our finance minister is saying, look, you know, our economic activities are rolling out very well, vaccinations program going out. We will continue to support and get everybody vaccinated to get down to the GE15, including having perhaps our first parliament meeting with the king convening during the emergency crisis inside here. But having said that, we do have many other issues that we want to talk about. Is definitely this. That's right. Now, if you see from here, let me just pull out the laser pointer. So far, what we have seen is this red line that we see. These are foreign fund flow. That's right. So what is simply, and immediately we hit a 6-month high that we hit somewhere in January, and we see a lot of foreign fund flow. And some of you, like David, is saying foreign funds keep moving out, and this is also reason why we are seeing this the blue line continue to drop out, because foreign funds are really moving out. And with the likelihood of GE15 coming soon, I'm going to show you also what happened when GE14, the anticipation of the GE14 that we have in 2018, what is going to be happening in 2021. Not long, just only less than 3 years, we are having another election to come. So foreign funds flow, so you can see after hitting 6 months high in January, our foreign funds were flowing outflow and outflow and outflow. Doesn't look very good, isn't it? Now, so meanwhile, let's look at the market for what we've seen so far in here. The KLSE just this evening at 5 o'clock, the market closed, continued to 0.5% to 1557. You can see from the chart here, the resistance somehow to be 1610, and it does look like 1560 will be the last test of it. You can see the ATR stop loss in here. And would we break that? What do you think? Type it in there. Would we go lower from here? Just type in there. Would we go lower from the 1560 from what we have seen? So market is trending downwards. Why is that? It's because there is a bear market. That's right. And all things being equal, our market should not go down, right? Now, because of the GE15 that was announced by one of the minister, KJ, in here, so the talk of the town continue forward, even if the market is likely to go down, all right? Now, let's give you a bit of background. You like background? If you like background, give me a thumbs up, okay? So I'd like to give you a lot of this. Now, if you look back on the GE14, which is on the 9th of May 2018. That's right. In the May of 2018, you can see immediately after the GE, the market just tumbled down in here. We were around 1840. All right. And I don't know when, to be frank with you. KJ, the minister, KJ Khairi Jamaluddin just said that, look, it's going to be earlier September. Just this announcement itself will cause this market to trend sideways or towards up. Even though this could be a bull market, to be frank with you, we are seeing the bulls, just that we are seeing a bit of correction. I will turn the attention over to the US market very soon in here. But what you have seen, the similarity between them historically, okay, historically, market usually turn bearish as a date comes closer to the GE15 of January election. Keep now. So that's in September. 1600 could be that level we can go for. Because why? Foreign funds are not coming in here, and the only people that is playing between you and me and your EPF. Okay, that's your EPF and you and me playing. So how are we going to push the market higher? Correct? No, look at the rubber glove. The rubber glove has been affected since in there, and again, the future for our KLCI doesn't look that good. And also, just 2 days ago, before this news came out, another analyst, very optimistic, saying that our market this year can hit or close high at 1870. Do you believe that? 1870. So it is above up here. You can see up here, 1870. This was 1870 where we were in 2018. What do you think? Are you going to bet your money on that? Definitely for me, I'm not going to bet my money from that to going back to 1870. All I see, technically, if you can see from here, from our green, those of you who have our trade Pentagon, trade VSA Pentagon guide, you can see in here the red Pentagon, which appeared in 2018, already appeared after the election. This one, lucky best, before they announced, already appeared. So how are we going to go down or go up? All right. So the Pentagon guide on the weekly chart, those of you who have this plugin, you are already forewarned. Of course, those of you from the public, you are already been informed by me. So either way, you are educated on this. Of course, having a plugin will definitely help far more. So this is my pre-warning to you on GE15. What's like to hear? So you hear it first in February 24th. Don't have to wait till September. February, I tell you now. All right, let's move on to also what are the hot sectors. Hot sector. Definitely right now we can see the WTI US crude oil continues to go higher. We can see the energy sectors, which is the oil and gas, those are doing well, followed by telemedia. That is because of the 5G rollout the government is doing, which is through My Digital, which they did debut that on the 19th of February, last Friday in here. But usually the case, members and also the public who is listening now in here, we have to make sure that the market usually take profit when good news comes out. Before that night, remember the date of release was 19th of February. Our Prime Minister Muhyiddin announced that. But before that, the stock market for those telemedia that you see here already started to move up. So meaning going next week, we are likely to see a bit of profit taking in here. Construction is coming in here because there will be some project consumer property in here. But I do think the consumer, this is the opening of our Malaysian economy as the vaccines are coming in up. You can see today in the breakfast show, two trade ideas. Air Asia and Genting Malaysia were the two trade ideas that we selected here. And we don't know how far it fared, to be frank with you in here. But definitely with the COVID, the sentiments, those are better. You can see the healthcare, which I've talked about in here. Last week, the week before were like pink and then got even worse off. And this is really a snapshot for those of you who are a plug-in subscriber to our Trade VSA, and you want to get it also from us too. Now, of course, let's turn our attention to the US market that we've seen so far in here. What have we got so far? Of course, as President Biden and what we have, former president, I must get it right, former president, Trump in here, they are still looking head on, face to face. But Joe Biden's focus has been tackling the COVID-19 in the first 100 days as a president of the 46th president, right here. And one of his agenda is definitely to get the COVID, and he's rolling out almost 1.7 trillion vaccination in one day. That's what he's doing. And yet we could see that is reflected on the chart. Now let me just go through the chart. Right now you could see in here the Dow Jones, we are seeing what? Step up volume, is it? 1, 2, 3. Step up. And that is very good. But the only concern that I have, if the COVID-19 1.9 trillion is being passed, will we see an upthrust followed by reversal. That is a real concern. Of course, some of you did brought out the rising inflation rate and also the correction that we see on the tech stock in the US. That is also reflected in our technology, right? You can see Inari, Penta, some of the usual one, Great Tech, UWC are undergoing problem. And don't forget also the solar energy. Remember what we see in Malaysia, the technology sectors as well as the solar sectors is also happening in the US market in here. Now this is because it's due to the inflation, which I will talk about one of the lessons learned in here. So I hope you like so far the pace that I'm going to. If my pace is okay, type 4, okay? And want to make sure you're good. In the meantime, we are seeing Donald Trump continue to, conjure that he wants to be the 2024 GOP nominees, which means he is running for Republican president in 2024, and he is likely to win in this weekend, the CPAC meeting in here. So why it's important to understand all this is because this is the precursor to why we're seeing the market for what it is. Now, if you've been following me for a fair bit of time, you will know these are precursor to understanding the macroeconomics in the world of stock market. So why? You will sleep better. You don't have to worry so much. And let me explain, especially those of you who are very, very busy in your work. You don't have time to read Bloomberg. You don't have time to read world news. Let me break it down to you. And I hope this is a little small service that we can do to able to help you to benefit from your wealth going forward in here. But right now, let me go back to this chart again. You can see we have upthrust, we have spring, we have line chain, and that's sort of jamming up to this point where it can break out and make a U-turn or break out and all the way. But in the longer term, as I planted in here before, we are likely to see this market going to 33,000, the Dow Jones in here, right? Just that we must try to buy at the right setup in here. It could break to 31,000, 32,000, look for a pullback and then buy back, or you want to get in, you can get in now. Now remember, you must always try to buy on bad news. Train yourself, all right, which always been the agenda for 2021, okay? Now let's look at some of the top stocks. After all, tonight is the top 5 lessons learned, okay, from the top stocks in here. Now I will take a bit of cherry picking in here. I won't be looking at all 10 in here. We have both the large cap, which I've just shown you in the previous slide, and this one is the mid cap and small cap stock, which also have double digit return, 146 and 190. Now just a show of hands, how many what kind of percent of return usually do you have for your stocks, especially those of you? If you can type that in there, I'll really appreciate. And I want to sort of compare, if you are usually stock average return that you have, hopefully you have about 10 or 15%, which is a good return. That's not too bad. But once a while, you want to get one of these up here that is shown in there, right? Which is 146, 98, 61, and 55% in here. All right. So that is also important as part and parcel of the returns inside here. I want to make sure that you learn the right way of looking into the market in here. Okay. Now let's look at our first stocks that we have for you in here, which is number 1, Supermax. Okay, Supermax. Again, how these stocks are found is actually through the Pentagon. That's right. Good. Some of you are showing me in here. You can see item number one in here. Green Pentagon, you want to enter the next day. That's right. On the green Pentagon, and you want to exit the next red Pentagon. And that's how you want to achieve that 400. Now, I have to say, it doesn't work all the time. Some people say, hey, you show me all this won't work. How come I buy the Pentagon didn't work? It always have to be in a trend. And it always started when no one is noticing that. Now remember, right? Remember the telemedia? Right. The telecom stock, the time.com stock before the GE50, and also go and look at the Pentagon for red tone. Now that it comes up on the news where you hear it, everybody is talking about 5G rollout, infrastructure, SPAC. That's the government trying to form this to get it 5G rolling. And all of a sudden you hear it, right? You buy, what happened? Red Pentagon come out. Okay, so this is why I talked about earlier on. It's important where the market goes through this big boom. Of course, we all know on hindsight, 2020, we have COVID-19, and of course all the rubber glove has shot through it because of the huge demand of people using rubber glove. And right now, no one is talking about rubber glove, and people say they even curse rubber glove. Why am I buy rubber glove and hold lose money? Right? So again, a strategy is very important in here. So let's look at item number 3. Now, if you have rubber glove, right, in this case Supermax, you want to exit on a target profit or target profit 1 or target profit 2, or at least wait until the red pentagon. Okay, so learn to take partial profit. Now, if the trade size that you're doing are too small, right, maybe let's say 500 ringgit, 200 ringgit, sometimes it does not worth it. So remember to have a suitable size, and these are some of the things we will teach in our master class in here. So all things being equal, we always say about the agenda 2021, being a trained trader and a trained investor. And so item number 4, remember, you don't win all the time. I'm going to show you the win rates. Usually if the market is trending, we are winning about 75 to 80% of the time. And when the market is not trending, we are even less than 55% of the time. So that is also important. I can tell you all these facts, but not until you experience it, then you will know. Right? And I will always give the example, one of the members who came to my masterclass workshop, and he's been doing a lot of back tests, and for the first trade, it didn't work in a way because the market wasn't in the trend, and he placed the trade. It gone through a worst case scenario where the market has gone almost against her 30%. She did not cut loss, and it was a very, very bad experience for her, and since then she did not touch the stock market for almost 3 years. And all I can say is that this may happen to you is because of the emotion that you are not physically or mentally prepared for this kind of thing, because money, wealth means very different to people. Some people, if they lose 10 ringgit, wow, they find it's like they cannot sleep for the whole day. Or some people say 10 ringgit is nothing. All right, so what we want to do is also do item number 6 is to do forward testing. When you see a green pentagon and you trade according to those rules which we will give out in our courses, do you follow them? And if you follow them, will it be another 430%? Yet to be known. Alright, let's look at another example in here. Number 3, called VS. Again, you can see VS made about 104% return. Again, this is also during the COVID-19. You can see the green pentagon came out, and a lot of time when the green pentagon comes up, you need to allow time for the trade to work out. As long as it doesn't hit the ATR stop loss, you can see here, or it didn't turn the red pentagon, you will make that trade. And now do take note, item number 4. Okay, item number 4 is that the win rate will be higher when the green pentagon for the KLCI is bluish. Let me just repeat that again, okay? Now, if you want to take a snapshot of this, just go ahead, feel free. Very important is that we only want to trade when the green pentagon for the KLCI is up, and that's where you get me now. Right now, I'm going to ask you, is the KLCI pentagon green or not? No, isn't it? It's yellow. So your chance of winning will definitely be less. All right, take note of that one. And it's also important to be patient in here. So one of the things you can do is to feel of this is to actually do item number 6, which is the back testing of the pentagon. Now, many of you would have smart Robie in here. I know find it a bit difficult to do the back testing in here. It's limited, so you might want to get the real-time pentagon guided signal in our trading view plug in there, right? I think we have a number there. You can call 0102669761 for those of you who want to have a chart like what you see on top there. All right, let's move on to the winner. Number 7 is Penta, okay, which have a 58% in here. You can see again the patterns, the setup are very similar. You hit green pentagon, it doesn't go down, just move sideways, give it a bit of time to accumulation, and then pops up. Then start to run top all the way up. All right, again, if the market hits TP2, take some partial profit and the balance at red pentagon in here. And also item number 4, very important, have patience to run your profit. Okay, run your profit. And number 5, learn to do simple back testing pentagon to build confidence. Back testing, what it means is that you do the trade on paper, you look back to the past. Of course, you may say, smart Robie, you can't look back, so you might want to use TradingView to do that and to get our plug into there. If not, then you just need to do forward testing, just like now. If the market now, KLCI is green pentagon, is bluish, and I found green pentagon, and I will do that trade. I will paper trade it, and that's what we call it forward testing. And then comes in 1 month from now, 2 months from now, what is the outcome? Did we win or did we lose? All right. So take note of that. Now let's turn our attention now to the mid cap and small cap in here, which will have a different list. We have CCM 146% return, but that stock, Chemical Company of Malaysia, has been taken out by Batu Kawan. They have bought it. We'll look at K1. We look at Sarawak Corporation, SCIB 61%, SL West, all right, K Power, Unisem, Vitrox, Great Tech, Sintex, and Frontcan. That's right. So let's look at it. Now let's look at K1, which is the mid cap, which is the item number 2 in the mid cap stock. Again, very, very similar. All the patterns is the same. Green pentagon, next day you enter on the opening. Red pentagon, you exit. Then you take partial profit on your first TP2, target profit 2, and take note, item number 4. Take note of this. You have to be careful when you see climatic volume. The climatic volume in here, you can see this is the one. See this climatic volume, as soon as you head in, be ready to take profit, right? Give it 1 or 2 more bars in the market, you've had got out at above 50 cents instead of red pentagon around 44 cents. So that is also good too. So it's important that you back test some of these patterns that we talk about. Climatic volume, you want to take partial profit, and then the next one you take on red pentagon. So that's also a very good way to increase your winning rate, because when we look in this example for the 98% K1 that is shown in here, it is from the green pentagon to the red pentagon in here. Of course, when you do the real life trading, it can be more or less, but some of you already stated on the right hand side, and you take 10, 20%, some take 10%, say 12%. So it is very unlikely you will run to 98%. Now, one of the things that we really do in our masterclass is to train you to run your profit, able to get some of these item 1 to item 10. Right now, how many of you like to have more than 50% return on the trade? Right? How many of you? If you like it, just type 5. Okay, like to have more than 50. Once a while you have a 50%. You cannot say have it all the time. Once a while you have it, and this is one of the challenges that I want to teach you and show you how to do that, the 50% return per trade. All right, let's move on to another example in here. Now, the third one is SL West. Okay, so let's look at SL West. Having said that, at that time, not many people know about SL West, about the solar theme that we're talking about, because that was sometime in May. Now remember, Joe Biden only won in November, so that's where all the solar started. But you can see from here onwards, someone know something already. You can see item 1, item 2, item 3 is very similar to some of the earlier example in here. And look at item number 3. Don't expect shares to run immediately after Pentagon. Allow some time to develop. You can see the green pentagon happens, you have upthrust, the market started to run sideways. You notice the volume is also very, very low. And then finally you have this test, very important. One of the classic pattern is that they need to test. And these are something Tom Williams, which have taught me in volume spread. Now you can see this test bar T here, right? The test volume is low because they want to see whether there's any more sellers. As soon as no sellers, that's where you get this big push, right? Now the key thing is for me to teach you maybe to enter somewhere before the Pentagon or somewhere around here. I think that's a key lesson. Anyone can tell you to enter at the breakout bar, but the key thing is enter somewhere around here. Now how many want to learn how to enter test? Just type it in their test. At least I know that you are so keen to learn this, all these secrets, I call it the volume spread that was taught by my Sifu, Tom Williams, and also Bill Womai, and for me today to share with you in the tools that we have, just like what we've seen. Of course, item number 4 is learn to read those low volume sideways markets, because when you see low sideways market volumes in here, that's signifying more upside to be coming, especially when the Pentagon here, you can see it's blue trend zone. Now these are all very important. I hope some of the earlier slide you have captured, screenshot it. It's part and parcel of the lessons that we are teaching you all today here. Okay, let's move on to our next next example called front can. That's right. Now front can is at number 10. Again, 1, 2, 3 items. You can see 1, 2, 3 items. It's very similar. On green pentagon, you enter on the next day opening in here. In this case, this one just started to run up, right? It didn't go through accumulation. Again, this is one of those variation in the pattern that we see. Sometimes when you see green pentagon, it will move sideways, 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 then low volume pump. This one, you can see straight up until here, then it pull back. Okay, straight up. This is, of course, it's very ideal for most people. I buy it, already make money, isn't it? So happy, isn't it? Correct. But there are times, so we must learn to adjust to this kind of variation. Sometimes they accumulate, sometimes they run, but it's part and parcel of volume spread analysis in here. Again, number 4, item number 4 we talk about here. Okay, item number 4, you can see, be careful of SOS. SOS stands for sign of weakness, which I'll talk a lot about in our breakfast show. And then you have UT. You can see UT here is an upthrust and upthrust. Every time you see upthrust, it signifying weaknesses after a good run. Now it's important you had a good run. You can see this was a good run on the background. Now when you watch my senior trainer Zac every evening 9:30, he talk about the background. What is the background? Now how we know about the background? We go and look to the left hand side of the chart. This is the left hand side of the chart. This is the background. So when you see upthrust, when the market move up, that means we are coming to a point the market is slightly going to tilt downwards. Right? And of course, when you see the red pentagon, no surprise. But what I want to teach you is to react before the red pentagon comes out. That's important too. Because eventually, when you learn the volume spread analysis, you will know how the indicators are generated. And there's no secret here, to be frank with you. Those people who possess and took the time to learn the volume spread analysis, they will know how the green pentagon and the red pentagon are generated. But what we did is mathematical formula, we put it into the Trade VSA charts in the plugins, some of you who have subscribed to it, and then you learn. All right. Of course, item number 5 is that you forward test, meaning you test it as it is right now. Right now is 24th of February. If you see a green pentagon and you follow the rules and you test it, how did it fare for you in there? And you learn about this sign of weakness. So you'll be more prepared for that one. All right, so here is the summary. So what we have learned from all those 6 charts that we have, I'm going to summarize here, 5 technical lessons. Okay, the first one, green pentagon, next day, go in. All right, on the opening. Red pentagon, next day, you want to exit. You can exit partially or you can exit, in this case, item number 3, take partial profit at TP2. Right, use a smart Robie, those of you at TP2, and the balance at the red pentagon. Very simple rules, okay? And then 3, learn about the SOS, which is a sign of strength, the line change. Remember, when you have line change, you have 2 variations. You have the accumulation, then make sure you have low volume, or you have the breakup, pop, 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 run. That's the one I like. Go in the next day, whoo, already 10-15% already, right? And then also, once it had a good run for item number 4 here, started to run, you want to make sure you spot those sign of weakness, because it can predict after the sign of weakness, just like UT, the market start to bend down lower and lower a bit more in here. And then number 5, understanding the market stages. It's also important. It's part and parcel of the theory. Now, what I've showed you with here, we go into very depth. I think last Saturday, my senior trainer, Zac, talked about this in the 2-hour workshop, volume spread analysis for beginner. And this is so-called how we use the volume spread analysis from here to apply today and how we can make those big return. Now you know how we do that. That's right. So it's part and parcel how we train our students, how we train our members in there. And when they get to this 50%, 60%, 80%, then you will know how we do it, rather than some of you who have put in the returns that you made 10, 12, 15%. I personally think that you can do better than that. I was like you many years ago, to be frank with you, 10%, 12%. But after a while, I look at it, cannot really make money. Is there any way I can be better? Is there any tools, any educational material where I learn, just like following the smart money, like what Tom Williams teach me? Now we are here to support you. All right. Now, of course, item number 6, which is a technical backtest. This setup. item 1 and item 3. Of course, it's easy for me to tell you, oh, Green Pentagon, next day go in. But if you have not seen it enough, or maybe you just continue to watch, don't do the work, it might take you maybe 2 years or 3 years. That's right, 2 or 3 years. But for those of you who are keen to learn, just forward testing, just spending merely 1 hour or 2 hours, you can start to realize the power of the Green Pentagon. And immediately this year, year of Ox, 2021, you'll start making those money back. And wealth is created for you in here. At the same time, you want to create a trading plan, meaning forward testing. If I do this, I use monopoly money. Monopoly money, right? Not real money first, I test first. This is what we call a trading plan. So these are the 5 technical lessons more. Now, are you all right? So I hope you all like this. You can take a snapshot. Now, how many of you are ready for more? Okay, so why we do this is part and parcel of what we call crash test dummy. We don't use real money. We use a dummy, just like those driving car, right? We crash them first, see how well they do. And when we have that confidence, we do it. And it's part and parcel of very, very scientific things that we do. All right? Now, how many of you ready to learn more? If you're ready to learn more, give me a thumbs up while I get a sip of water. All right? Yes, you're ready to learn more. Let's move on. Now, I'm going to give you a tip how to stay young forever, okay? I think you all like that. And this is from Henry Ford. And you look at the guy over on the left-hand side. That is no other than Elon Musk, famous for all his tweets, and yet he's one of the richest person in the world. And he is always learning. He said to some of the MBA students inside there, always learn. When you learn, you will stay young. How many of you agree with me, that one? So that's why I'm always learning, listening to the news, reading journals, buying books. You can see a bunch of books behind me here, right? You can't see it there, right? All things. And I think some of this knowledge I'm able to impart to you. I know most Malaysians, because maybe they're busy, they don't have time to read. So my job is to simplify for them some of these ideas. Definitely one idea is tip to stay young forever. I think, how many of you want to stay young forever? If you want to stay young forever, just type young forever, okay? Is to continue to learn. Now, he says it here too. Anyone who stopped learning is old, even if you're 20 and 80. And I've seen today many times, the young people, like your children, all these, every day on YouTube one, every day on TikTok, every day on thing. Are they learning or not? So they don't, right? Because maybe we feed them too much. I know my kids all are on YouTube. So I always tell them, you go to YouTube, you must learn. And I share with him this thing. Whenever you learn, you will stay young forever. I think that's so important too. This is a lesson. So one of the things that I will give you more things, right? So you're here to learn, isn't it? Many of you are keen to learn. So let's go forward and learn. Now, first lesson, first insight from the top winner of year 2020, okay? Expect the unexpected. Very important, right? Now, first thing I have to share with you, my experience in the stock market over the last 15 years is that long-term share market return is only 8% per annum. All right. So if you put 100,000 ringgit in there, your return is only 8%. So keep that in mind. So that is the benchmark I have for you. I know some of the return per trade can be 100%, but you don't put everything 100%, isn't it? You don't use 100% of your fund to buy Supermax, isn't it? If you did, yes, you made 400,000. But if you did not succeed, you could have lost more. So there's a part what we call diversification. Again, I will talk about it later. So keep in mind, reason is I want to make sure many of you don't have unexpected return. That, I come into a stock market, 8% I'm not interested. But why 8% is because we still do better than EPF. And if you have 8% and you compound it, some of my members who know what I'm talking about in here, you can grow and hit your first million very fast. And what we do in Trade VSA is the long-term share market return 8%. We can, through our technique, do better than that. I'm going to show you later on. You can even get up to 16% per annum. Quite consistent with some down year and some good year. Okay, type number 2. This is where Elon Musk will come in. You want to bet on the trending zone. Very important. This is where sector analysis is important. If you notice, right, the earlier round, all those rubber glove winners, right, eventually they're no longer there. The only one that is there, UWC, DC also still there, Pi is still there, Great Tech is still there, because these are the trending stocks. And of course, you need to understand the underlying fundamental factors. We all know the COVID-19 has changed the parameters what we used to. Look at the old giant like AirAsia and Genting. For the COVID cases, they have felt a great deal already, right? And right now, only now we are seeing AirAsia is coming back and Genting Malaysia is coming back. But think of the underlying factor. Would it get back to what it is before? If you think not, then maybe you don't want to put too much money over there. Number 3, very important in the perspective of the market, is don't fight the central bank. Now this is a picture of the US FOMC chairperson Jerome Powell, and they are very, very powerful. Why? They can print money, and that is why early on to Elon Musk at item number 2, he likes Bitcoin because he cannot print Bitcoin. You can mine Bitcoin, there's only certain amount, but the US dollar is unlimited printing right now in here. Another day we'll talk about Bitcoin, all right? So what Jerome Powell, the US FOMC chairman, are saying that, look, we can lower the interest rate because right now with the COVID-19, things aren't looking very good. You know, people are jobless, the unemployment rate is high, people are running out of money, and it is important we ensure the regime of low interest rate is maintained. Now, why this is important, later on this will go on to the next sector, which explain why technology stock not doing so well because of the interest rate. Now, having said that, interest rate now currently is rising again only in the context of the US market. It's because inflation is rising. Now, one of the reasons it's rising is because economic is rising, and the economic is recovering due to the COVID rollout, as we have seen also in Malaysia right now. In Malaysia right now, we are seeing that the Minister of Finance, Tengku Zafrul, saying, look, everything's going to be quite good. We have a GDP growth of 4%. Business is coming in. That's why you see Asia is coming back, isn't it? They're talking about even starting flight as early as July or August. A little bit, just share me. You are able maybe to fly. Again, it's all going to depend on the vaccine rollout. We just have just that one picture early on. So one of the things that we talk at the front part is to build up to the conclusion that I want to draw from in here. Now, so going forward with that premise in mind, the economy is recovering, so people are expecting economy to get better. As such, inflation will rise because more people are getting likely to work, inflation rise, and one of the ways to control inflation rise is to raise interest rate. So right now in US, people expect interest rate to be raised because they're expecting inflation to be up. These are all expectations. It has not happened yet. As such, technology stocks don't do so well in rising interest rate. There is a mathematical formula in here. Again, I'll do it another time to show with you rising interest rate will drive down the present value of technology stock, and that's why it's coming down. So item number 4, some insights in year 2020 is the latest innovation trend. Now we talk about work from home. That's why a lot of stocks like Zoom, Microsoft, those have done pretty well. And this is because of the COVID-19 catalyst that we've seen so far. Now, like it or not, COVID-19 has changed how we see the world. And I think many of you would always believe that the work from home policy or remote working will become true. Now, if you believe remote working is true, just type remote in there. So I know how many of you believe in remote working, because remote working is certainly now one of the big trends that I see a lot. Now, a lot of the foreigners, right, which is from the cold country, they will move to maybe Bali or Thailand and work remotely for the 6 or 9 months. Even Tom Dorsey from the Twitter say that their employee no need to come back to office. So some people are willing to take the pay cut and work remotely. All they do is that they wear a nice shirt like Naomi, right? Talking to the camera while being in Bali. And after I finish the meeting with my boss, I go and hang out in the coconut tree or go for a swim. Can you imagine you do that in the city in KL? Cannot, right? Maybe in Penang you can. In Australia, maybe you can. But in definitely KL, traffic jam lah, brother. So that idea has come. And so that is why it's important that item number 4 is the latest innovation trend. Lifestyle changes has been done. And people are buying more notebooks, buying more iPads and mobile phones. That's why you notice the chip shortages that we've seen in the world. because everybody used to buy chips, right? And now because more people are buying computers, and even there were lack of computers because of the students in Malaysia, remember, all have to attend online, isn't it? So there was also a problem. And these are what we call the latest innovation trend, right? We look for the best growth, not the best discount. When we look for best discount, definitely AirAsia, Genting Malaysia is the best discount inside here, right? So number 5, also important, don't panic when market corrects, okay? This is one, the insight of 2020. Around September and August last year, the market really corrected. And then a lot of people say, oh, yo, this one going to go all the way down. Same thing what is happening right now. Differentiate between market correction and market crash. I will spend, do look up on my YouTube. I have some talks. I talk about market correction and market crash between it, or maybe in the later time in the future I will talk about the difference between them so you learn about them, because item number 5 is important. A lot of time, many of my students, especially those of you who have never been exposed before, you all hear some sifu say or some blogger, market crash, oh, sell everything. Guess what? It's only a correction. So be able to differentiate the time. So that's why the education material that we bring here is very important. So these are the 5 insight and lesson I want to share with you in here. All right. So I hope you all liked it. Do you want some more bonus? Yes, I got a lot of bonus for you guys, isn't it? So bonus, isn't it? Okay. For those of you who are asking, for Malaysia, it's, in my opinion, it's a correction, but this correction can last very, very long. So if you like more bonus, just type in more bonus, okay? I gave you another bonus because Trade VSA get 4 stars and higher for all the reviews. So we wanted to continue to get very good support. So if you can give me a good review at the end of today, I'll give you a QR code. I'll give you, now I give you first. I give you bonus first, then later you give me the review. Okay, let's talk about the top trade idea that we have now. Remember, some of you who have came already attended this live Zoom back in 9th of January. Okay, 9th of January 2021, I presented this on the Zoom. Some of you may just found about it, but some of these are not new ideas. Okay, so let's look at it now. One of the first top trade idea that I presented on 9th of June was Kellington. At that time, it was around 150 in here. So you can take a snapshot of this one. That's fine. Okay, because I'm going to be talking going forward very quickly in this one because it's almost 10:30. Then one of the reasons why I like Kellington is because it was industrial, semiconductors was going. The EPS was really growing. At that time it was 175. Of course, now it went up to about 260, 280. Again, this was only on 9th of January. And take a look at the left hand side. And the other thing is that the turnover, 70% is from overseas business, and that will get a lot of the turnout. He has a lot of cash on the hand, but because of the COVID-19, the return on equity is really going down. And this actually came from our Trade VSA Growth FA screener. Keep in mind, the keyword is the FA Growth. Okay, Fundamental Analysis Growth Screener in here. Okay, so let's go into it. Then the next one is revenue. Okay, revenue we have here, and that was around 120 something, 130 is since gone a bit higher to $2 in here. Again, this is again a play on My Digital. Remember My Digital last Friday when our Prime Minister Muhyiddin came out and mentioned about My Digital revenue as well as GHL system solid prop up, because it is the equivalent of PayPal, and a lot of the e-payment gateway Lazada has been covered in here. And like it or not, the COVID-19, you've seen the ROE has decreased, but their cash flows, cash balances are really increasing inside here. All right. So third one is JF Tech. Okay, so JF Tech in here, again, this was presented on the 9th of January, and why I like about them, they were the first major client breakthrough for Huawei, the major one. They're building a factory in China for 2021 this year. 5G technology, Internet of all things, and also semiconductors are very positive. You look at the EPS, it's definitely doing up in here. And again, in 5th of January last year itself, I first talked about it, it has gone up 250%. Even today, I'm still talking about. But why? Is because it is the growth. The focus of always been our talk is growth, growth, and growth. All right, and in here, the cash on hand is also increasing, and also on ROE. Okay, so keep that in mind. So number 4 is Magnitech. Now Magnitech is not a technology stock. I like to include it. It is into baju apparel and also packaging. They are based off in, I think is Bukit Mertajam. No, not Bukit Mertajam, Sungai Petani lah, or Batu Work around there in here, led by Mr. Ta Poi Seng. You can see at that time was 225. I'll show you the return up to now. They do a lot of undergarment, Nike, and the stimulus that I like about it is the Tokyo Olympic 2021. Now, like it or not, a lot of people say Tokyo 2020 and 21 not happening, but they are still going ahead because they already delayed last year. And this year, they are taking in a lot of vaccine, and they might delay into August, which is possible all too. Even our Prime Minister, the KJ, Khairi Jamaluddin saying that earliest we can do possible GE 15 is September. So if they postpone to August, why not the Olympic? So you can see Magnitech may recover very soon. Okay. Magnitech, again, this came from our growth FA screener in here. A lot of ROE. I'm just going to go through also MYEG. Okay. Why I like about it, government contracts renewal, new contracts, MySafe, all the COVID-19, new, a lot of these are all growth stock. You notice the EPS, again, all these charts are available on TradingView in here. And this came out, then Mega First. I think I'll talk about Mega First, some renewal project. This is a play on the what we call the renewable energy sectors in here. At that time was 690. I think it's gone up a bit since then. You can see the EPS was, when I first talk about it, was on the 25th of November last year. Right, if you remember, discuss about it, very resilient from the Don Song Hong hydro project, so on and so forth. So you can just quickly read this in here, or just Google and find out more information. But these are some of the stocks idea that I like. Okay, so also we'll look at some of the investment bank, and this is from Maybank, talks about some of the large cap stock that they like for 2021, and this will pick on the 6th of January. So what I did was I parlayed it next to the Smart Robie. You can see out from there only Top Glove, RHB Bank, BNB Bank is sort of the good ratings that I talk about. So take a picture of this one very quickly. Okay. Or we can watch this video. And on the small and mid cap stocks, we also have it in here. Allianz, this is again an insurance company in here. Sarawak Oil Plantation, Aeon, Globetronics was 2, Padini was 1, and SB Satir was 1. So a lot of these stocks, some like Globetronics, has already run since 6th of January, but I think there's still a little bit more upside based on the charts inside here. All right, then number 7 is also Inari. Okay, I think you're talking about Inari. 5G, a proxy to Avango in here. It's a OSAT, RF chip, semiconductors, technology stocks, earnings keep coming out. But today it did close a bit lower because the earnings will be coming out. So they may anticipate not so nice earnings inside there. All right. Sarawak Oil Plantation going forward in here. This is another one that I sort of like it because I want to have a play on the plantation. You've seen plantation has gone up to 3,007 in here, and it sort of follow the CPO prices inside, right? Okay, and and also back to some a good review from one of our past member just by listening to a live FB in here, and you could see Smart Robie and our workshop have help a lot of people to be very successful. And this gentleman, Richie Chin, made about 68% return from 3 months from Pohan from my talk in July 2020. And, we get into both understanding the fundamental and the chart. And, we really like this kind of review that really, help us to give a good service to you in here. And it's no surprise, one of the reasons why, if you see from here what we have done and those ideas that we have, even going back to year 2020, all the live FB, we have about 45 trade ideas, and it has a winning rate about 73%. The result is up to 14th of January, and average gain per trade idea is about 43% compared to a KLCI of 2.8%. And one of the reasons why, if you can see, this is better than Warren Buffett value investing, it's very simple. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not bragging. It's because Buffett methodology looks at heavily discount company, whereas today we look at those 5 insights, right? We look at what Elon Musk is thinking. So we look at growth shares and sectors. And that's very important. Our method, we look at growth sectors, we use Pentagon. That's how we are able to get the kind of returns that we get. So this is no secret I've shared with you today in here. All right, and that's why one of the testimonials that we have from Richie Chin was very happy. All right, so going forward, so which idea? Now we did talk about 2020. Now let's start on 2021. Okay, 2021, which idea? Is it the top 10 ideas that we have? We just mentioned KGB, JF Tech, Revenue, MFCB, Inari, Strawberry Oil Plantation, or the breakfast show ideas. The breakfast ideas from our beginner idea that we have, okay, that we have done pretty well. Not all of them are right. Or the third one, the immediate idea, the immediate level, which is on Wednesday. The beginner level is on Monday. The intermediate level is on Wednesday. So which one is good? So let's look at first our top idea. Now the idea that I presented to you, I've just showed you 8 from the trade idea. That was from 9th of January. So we took the price from 8th of January to 24th February. You can see KGB already 42%, Revenue 46, JF Tech 13, Magni Tech 1, MYAG 18, MFCB 13, Inari 25%, only Sarawak Oil Plantation 0.25. So if you look at it, how am I able to get 7 out of 8 positive flow? It's because, very simple, we look at trending stock, we understanding the fundamental underlying with it, and we use Pentagon Guider to do the timing. All right, so this is how we do it, and I'm going to give you some more here. Now on our beginner level using Pentagon Guider list, you can see JF Tech 87%, we picked that one on 30th November. Press Metal, SL West, Sindex only -4, Dufu 20%, Pekka 11%, 28, MPI 14, JHM 16, and UWC on the 18th of January in here. So it becomes a pattern. You see a pattern there? A pattern is the sector, the Pentagon, the market timing, and you'll get it right. Now let's look at the intermediate level from our breakfast show. Some of you will follow me. You can see the trending list. We can see Pi is about 61%, 23rd of January. UWC 23, KGB, again, it was picked on 6th of January. So that was the same time when we picked also for the trade idea. Revenue 6th of January, so that also appeared on that one. Great Tech, Front Can, we picked twice, 13 and 3rd, continue to go up. MY Tech, FG Group, yes, FG Group is the one that broke down, the only one. We have -8%. Inari was 5% from 27, Penta was 3.2 from 27, and MFCB were 7% from 3rd of February. Now it's kind of interesting to see which of these will make it to the top 2021 gain. Again, we will come back in the later shows to review how these stocks will fare. Some of them are still continue to run. We will still run them. Okay. But the final message I want to share with you is that how are we able to do that? What is the secret behind it? Besides that, it's because Trade VSA, we build great tools. Now, tools that is well invested make great returns. Now, this is one of the things that we do. It's no secret. It's our Trade VSA Edge, which many of our plugin members have subscribed and used this. It's our growth share in our FA screener. You can get it from us. There's a number in there if you're interested to subscribe to it. We have this list. It's kind of based on fundamentals, right? And then you use the plugin or the Trade BSA to do the timing in here. The color coded there has some sort of rules you can follow, and we actually teach this in our part and parcel of our tools. So this is something purely from an educational standpoint that we want to share with you, how we are able to get the FA screener in here. So if you are newbie, what do you do? And Tom told me, who is the founder of VSA, you want to formalize your education and listen, right? Listen, backtest, the 5 lessons that I share with you, the education insight that you don't just listen to people's opinion. Read about the market. What is the market telling you inside here, right? And as I said before, we have a method to do that. We formalize your education through our masterclass coaching and support. And we really ask yourself, many of us, when we first started, we operate from where? The fear, isn't it? As you get to know us, you started to learn, you build that confidence. Then you want to sort of engage us and how we can support you through our coaches. We have met them before. Zac, very experienced, and also Coach Arif, Fu with his pullback, and also VF, remember those of you who have, and also Cap Marina through our 12 months of regular training and live trading inside here. So my summary is the 5 insights in here I've said before today. Expect the unexpected, bet on the trending zones, don't fight the federal chairman, follow the latest innovation trend, and don't panic when you see the market correct. And that's why one of the things that we try to do here is to really educate you in here. All right, so we're coming to the end of our talk. So I hope you like what you've seen so far, and do give us a review. I think I've given you some of the stocks on the 9th of January. So we will see coming in the coming months, in the second half of the year or even year end, how would those stocks fare? Would it make those big runs, or would it just make 10% in 10% or 15%? Some of you may have those targets. So do review us on my Google and also on Facebook on some of the information that we share with you in here. And I think you will take home a lot of good lessons, the insights that we have in here, and also knowing those trade ideas in here. So of course, some of you who are ready to take on to a next journey with us, we are having our next intake for the April 9-10. This is just after Qingbing or after Easter and before the Hari Raya Puasa. That's right. So our 3-day course inside here, and we'll be talking about Bitcoin too, which is very big. We're going to show you how to invest in the Bitcoin. 1 or 2 trades, get it right, already counting back already. And we will always have 2 to 3 live trading session and follow-up session on the weekly basis. Okay, so VSA again is becoming more and more popular in here, and definitely our April 2021 masterclass is a way where you get those tools that we talk about, the growth, just more than the 7. There are many more of them that will do well, and there's no surprise in here. All right, so 5 prediction for 2021. Focus on rotational play. US market will have corrections, right? But upside still be. COVID cases will still balloon until second quarter, which is right now we're still at the 3,000 in here until we see the vaccine. The US-China war will continue to benefit Malaysia, and KLSE has broken resistance. We are setting new high, but today we have the GE15 coming on. Value growth investing will be critical for 2021, and definitely having the FA screener plug-in, the one that we talk about, will definitely put you in the right spot to get those big returns that all we wish we have for year 2021. All right, so for our next talk on the 10th of March, right, we will be talking about US market, why you should diversify to the US stock market. Now, one reason why I already given up with the G15, I also not sure how our market is. What happens is the market stuck until next year March. They say September, but with all this delay and the preparation of the COVID, preparation of the GE15, we might have a stay that our money is sunk. So we want to diversify, and I've been doing that over the last 10 years inside here. Some of our members, we started to do that as part and parcel of the basis of our ideas going forward, because US market, according to Elon Musk, it's a market of innovation, technology solution, and growth. How many of you believe in the US market? If you do, just type in the US market in there. That will be our next talk. And definitely not forgetting, our next free workshop will be technical analysis with TradingView for beginner. This is the QR code, so you can hit this QR code. It will be on the 3rd of April from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. and that's the one you can sign up for it in here. So we are putting up early, so you can sign up a bit earlier on. So this is a free workshop, so you can really do that one too. All right, and that will be the last slide. So thank you for coming, and do join our Telegram chat room. This is a QR code there. All right, so for those of you can also subscribe to our YouTube and get all the information that you have. And finally, our last token appreciation for our tonight, do go over to our Facebook and to our Google chat room and give us a good review. No good review, we also want to know, so we can improve and give you the best satisfaction, best service to you, so you can walk away with a lot of benefits, a lot of educational idea that can help you to build the year of ox. Remember, the year of ox, metal ox, may not be for Malaysia KLSE market, but definitely there are other, some of you said fishing pond, maybe the US market, that will definitely help you in there. All right, don't forget the 5 insights, the 5 lessons that we learned from year 2020 going forward. It will help you. Do send me a personal message, those of you who want to, how you felt about it, or write us in the review in here. I won't be taking any stock review. We'll do that in our breakfast show. If I don't see you soon, I'll see you on Friday in our breakfast show every 10:50, or you can catch the replay on our YouTube once we upload it. And again, this will be uploaded in YouTube. Thank you and good night. Thank you for all your time, and we appreciate your hours that you spend with us are well spent, and we do the best we can to give you good educational material that you will benefit. Thank you very much, and thank you for your support. Do see us next time. If not sooner, it'll be on Friday. Remember of the 2 dates, the 10th of March and also the 2nd of April for our free talk and free workshop. Thank you. Bye-bye.